But I really want to ask Mark, because we haven't really talked about this ever before, is that this idea of fear and courage, or fear in particular, is that something you push hard when you're working with actors and getting performance? Is it one of the elements, or does that just emerge from other things? Is there something else that you say, look for this about the character more than anything?
Well, it's interesting, because as I was listening to you, I had some thoughts which will answer your question. Because number one, you're talking about the fear and the courage of the character, in the character. And because most of my work, and you're working with writers and screenplays, most of my work is working with directors, and directors working with actors. So I'm working in that world. I'm working with this group called directors, this group called actors, and eventually there is the character, and eventually that character is in a story. And so as I was listening to you, I said, yeah, because what I'm dealing with a lot, before I even get to with your question about the character and their fear and their courage, I'm dealing with the fear and courage, or lack of courage, of the director and the actor. Forget the character for a moment.
Right.
In other words, a director's fear of even talking to an actor. You know, a lot of directors fear, I mean, too many directors are afraid of actors, and too many actors are afraid of directors, and it's a disease that's been going on ever since. So a lot of what I'm dealing with is dealing with a director's fear of talking to with an actor, and his courage, not as his courage to talk to an actor, but his courage to feel that he is capable of maintaining his authority while collaborating with an actor. You know, to get over that. In other words, the courage within himself, nothing to do with overpowering the actor. Then dealing with the actor, and then dealing with the actor's fear, and a lot of this has to do with control, which is similar to your characters. For the actor's fear, which is the director's fear too, of giving up control. Too many artists, too many directors, and too many actors want to control everything. Directors want to control the whole film, which is a big problem. Actors want to control their performance, which is a big problem. They should both give up that and give over to the character, because that's all we're there for, is to create the character. I'm not there to direct. I'm there to help an actor create a character. The actor's not there to act. The actor's there to allow the character to live and breathe, and then eventually we get into who is the character. But I've got to get past these other fears within these artists called directors and actors before I can even get to dealing with the character in a deep way. And then yes, once we can get directors, I have to clarify this. I was going to say directors directing actors, because my way of working with directors, which Michael has seen, is I have a way of working with directors which is called not directing, a way of working with actors, not directing the actor. Stop directing the actor. Totally stop it. And direct only the character. In fact, there's a way, this technique I have is as you've seen, shutting down the character's brain. I can shut shutting down the actor's brain. This way of talking to the character so that the actor's brain will actually shut down and the character's brain will take over, so then the character can emerge. And then once I'm inside, I can get inside the character very fast, within less than a minute, get inside the character. And then what I'm stimulating inside the character is the fears that exist within the character based on the script as I understand it. And then hopefully it's also stimulating the source of possible potential courage to deal with all the elements that are in the script.
Do you link those two things? I mean, if you have an actor, which I assume is most of the time, who is afraid to let go and give the performance, do you use that real fear that they have to connect it with the character's fear, or is that a wrong direction?
No. If I try to use that fear, then I'm stimulating that fear. What I'm doing.
Good point.
No, what I'm doing is through this whole my technique of working with actors with the interrogation process, which you've seen, is I'm bypassing that fear by diminishing it. I just bypass it by diminishing the actor. Then suddenly the fear will go away. The actor's real fear, biggest fear is they'll do a bad job. The actor's biggest fear that they won't give a good performance, they won't please the director, they won't please the writer, they won't please anybody, they won't please themselves. So what I have to do is bypass all of those fears and actually take them off the table rather than dealing with them. But and then the courage that I have to stimulate within the actor, which is not that, ironically, not that hard to do. The courage to trust me. In other words, which is giving up control. Trust me that I will, I as the director will take them where they need to go. The director will help them create and then once they do that, then what happens is, we could show you sometime this. What happens is the character emerges. And the actor usually, and actors I've done this with are amazed because they sit, after it's done, they go, oh, wow, I didn't have to do anything. I said, no, you don't have to do anything. When actors realize that when they actually portraying the character, they have to do so little. In fact, most of the work a lot of actors do get in the way of the process because they try to control the process by acting, by thinking. And I can shut down the acting and I can shut down the thinking and I can let the character think and let the character behave. You know, and I'm interested in the character's behavior, not the actor's behavior.
It's not just amazing to the actor, it's amazing to watch. I think one of the reasons that we really wanted, or one of the reasons I anyway really wanted to do this event with Mark that we've been talking about, this Beyond Collaboration, is because even though we've known each other for decades now, I had never actually seen him teach one of his classes, and he did an event at the Directors Guild and demonstrated this process he was just talking about. And it is astonishing to watch. Because I, who don't have any experience in the directing side of this, I'm all about story and script, I always imagined a director would say, okay, now you should walk over that way, or you should hold your hand here, or give it more, or give it less. And it's amazing because he doesn't really talk to the actor at all, except in the very beginning. He just, as quickly as he can, starts talking to the character inside the skin of that actor and bringing that character out by directly engaging. And then you see how that brings out a performance that is just astonishingly better than the one that preceded it, just because he was able to connect that directly. It was just a wonderful thing to experience, and I think will be a wonderful thing for the screenwriters who come to this event to get to see, because it's not completely disconnected. It's the writer, even in writing and creating those characters, has to be able to get to a level that they could, theoretically or inside their head, converse with their character, know their character well enough. I mean, I've often read scripts by writers and asked them questions about, does this character have a college degree, or what scares this person, or whatever it might be, and they don't know. All they've thought about is, well, I know my character has to stop this serial killer. And I think that when writers can see you do that, it's really going to click into, wow, I could actually be doing that with my writing. I could be going deeper with the character and engaging them more directly, in my head anyway, in the creative process.